Hello everyone, welcome back on the e-commerce technology. So in this we are going to start with a typical e-commerce transaction, how it's been done. Like sitting at home on a computer, a customer tries to order a book online. A web browser communicates back and forth over the internet with a web browser that manages the store's website. The web server sends her order to the order manager. This is a central computer that sees orders through every stage of processing from submission to dispatch. The order manager queries a database to find out whether what the customer wants is actually in the stock. If the item is not in the stock, the stock database system can order new supplies from the wholesalers or the manufacturers. This might involve communicating with order system at the manufacturer's headquarters to find out estimated supply time while the customer is sitting at her computer, in other words, in real time. The stock database confirms whether the item is in stock or suggest an estimated delivery date when supplies will be received from the manufacturer. Assuming the item is in stock, the order manager continues to process it. Next, it communicates with the merchant system run by a credit card processing firm or linked to a bank to take payments using the customer's credit and debit card number. The merchant system might make extra checks when the customer's own bank's computer. The bank computer confirms whether the customer has enough funds. The merchant system authorizes the transaction to go ahead through the funds and will not be completely transferred until several days later. The order manager confirms that the transaction has been successfully processed and notifies it to the web server. The web server shows the customer a page that having a confirmation of the order that has been processed and the transaction will be completed. The order manager sends a request to the warehouse to dispatch the goods to the customer. A truck from the dispatch firm collects the goods from the warehouse and delivers them to the customer. Once the goods have been dispatched, the warehouse computer emails the customer to confirm that her goods are on the way and the goods are delivered to the customer. All these things are invisible, or you can say it is a virtual to the customer, except the computer she sits at the dispatch truck and that arrives at her door. So this is how a typical e-commerce transaction works. So now we are going to identify the vulnerabilities that can happen in a typical e-commerce transaction. First of all, when the customer is trying to order something online from her computer, she might be having some bugs such as viruses or worms on a computer. So from where the information can be hacked. Then you have a communication medium to an internet service provider. It can be a Wi-Fi or a wire medium. So over there, hackers use the wiretap or Wi-Fi listening to get the information. Then between the online store website to a database server, you have to be careful. While we are talking about the database server, it is vulnerable to SQL injection. When we talk about the web server, it can be prone to hackers to get the customers list. While when we talk about the bank, it can have a DOS attack that is the denial of service attack, card theft, or it can be hacked. So from customer credit card bank or debit card bank, between merchant there is a security breach from where the customer's information can be leaked. Then from warehouse to shipping, the area over here is the hacker hacked the system and tells another address to deliver the goods, and the original customer is waiting to receive that good and the product is not arrived. So these are the points where we can identify vulnerabilities while we talk about e-commerce transaction. So all those vulnerabilities are having some security threats in, we call it, e-commerce environment. The first one is the malicious code. In that we have viruses, worms, Trojan horses, bots, botnets, and so on. So what is a virus? A computer virus is a malware program that when executed, it replicates by inserting copies of itself, possibly modified, into another computer program or data file or to the boot sector of the hard drive. When this replication succeeds, the affected areas are then to be set as infected. A computer worm is a standalone malware computer program that replicates itself in order to spread to other computer. Often it uses a computer network to spread itself, relying on the security failures on the target computer to access it. Unlike a computer virus, it does not need to attach itself to an existing program. Then we have Trojan Horse. One of the most insidious types of Trojan Horse is a program that claims to get rid of your computer of viruses, but instead introduces viruses onto your computer. The term comes from the Greek story of a Trojan war, in which the Greeks gave a giant wooden horse to their foes, the Trojans, ostensibly as a peace offering. Next category is the bot. Tasks that bots can perform run the array from sending spam to blasting websites of the internet as a part of coordinated denial of service attacks. Since a bot infected computer does the bidding of its master, many people refer to these victim machines as zombies. A botnet, also known as a zombie army, is a number of internet computers that, although their owners are unaware of it, have been set up to forward transmissions, including spam or viruses, to other computers over the internet. Any such computer that is transferring that information or infecting other computers over the network is referred to as a zombie. Then the other category is unwanted programs, in which we have parasites, adware, and spyware. Browser parasites are unsolicited software that is installed in a computer without user realizing it. There are many different types. Parasite can report web browsing habits to a marketing company over the internet or change browser setting to point to a specific site. Adware is a form of a software that downloads or displays unwanted ad when a user is online, collects marketing data and other information without the user's knowledge, or redirects search requests to certain websites. Spyware software that enables a user to obtain covert information about another's computer activity by transmitting data covertly from their hard drive. Then comes social engineering. Social engineering is an attack factor that relies heavily on human interaction and often involves tricking people into breaking normal security procedures. A social engineer runs what used to be called a con game. Techniques such as to appeal to vanity, appeal to authority, and appeal to greed are often used in social engineering attacks. Many social engineering exploits simply rely on people's willingness to be helpful. For example, the attacker might pretend to be a coworker who has some kind of urgent problem that require access to additional network resources. Then we have phishing, that is deceptive online attempt to obtain confidential information. Phishing is the attempt to acquire sensitive information such as usernames, password, and credit card details, and sometimes indirectly money, often from malicious reasons by masquerading as a trustworthy entity in the electronic communication. Then we have hacking. It refers to the practices of modifying or altering computer software and hardware to accomplish a goal that is considered to be outside of the creator's original objective. Those individuals who engage in computer hacking activities are typically referred to as a hacker. A cracker, also known as a black hat hacker. A cracker is an individual with extensive computer knowledge whose purpose is to breach or bypass internet security or gain access to software without paying royalties. The general view is that while hacker building things, cracker break things. We have hackers, or simply called as black hats, are the type of hackers the popular media seems to focus on. The black hat hackers violate computer security for personal gain, such as stealing credit card number or harvesting personal data for sale to identity thieves, or for pure malicious, such as creating a botnet and using that botnet to perform distributed DOS attacks against the website they don't like. White hat hackers are the opposite of the black hat hackers. They are the ethical hackers, experts in compromising computer security system who use their ability for good, ethical and legal purposes rather than bad, unethical and criminal purposes. Grey hat, very few things in real life are clear. Black and white categories is clear. In reality, there often a gray area. A gray hat hacker falls somewhere between a black hat and a white hat. A gray hat doesn't work for their own personal gain or to cause carnage, but they may technically commit crimes and do not arguably unethical things.